Good morning. This is the Great Basin Prescribed Fire and Smoke Transport Briefing from Monday, November 28th. We normally issue these products on Mondays and Wednesdays through the burn seasons of the fall and spring. Looking at precipitation the past 2 weeks, bone dry across the southern half of the Great Basin and definitely drier than normal south of the Snake River Plain, or actually most areas. If you look on the right-hand side, percent of normal, near 0% of normal for the 2-week period for just about all of Nevada, Utah, and still only 10 or 20% of normal going into parts of Idaho and western Wyoming. So it's been dry. You can see the response here on the 100-hour fuels. The gold area, upper single digits, 6 to 10%. These are more in line with mid to late September normals than stuff we would see at the end of November, but it's been dry. 100-hour fuel still hanging tough, above 15 or 20% as you go further north. They've had some spotty precipitation, a lot of precip over the past several weeks, soaking things in. And you can see our latest snowstorm coming into parts of Idaho. The darker blues indicate anywhere from 3 to 6 inches of new snowfall. The golds indicate 6 to 12 inches of snow in the north for now, but it is moving southwards. You see the snow cover on the map. Even in the Snake River Plain, this grayish shade, kind of hard to see, but if you look carefully, you'll see it's about 1 or 2 inches of snow cover. Otherwise, 10 to 30 inches of snow cover, snowpack up in the higher terrain of Idaho, western Wyoming, as well as the mountains of Utah and Nevada as well. Our snowpack looking great. Most areas about double what they normally have for snowpack this time of year in the dark blue and near or slightly above normal in the green colors. Satellite imagery, deep, cold, low pressure. You see the outline here. The origins are across the interior northwest Canada, so the air is cold and dry, but there's moisture across the adjacent Pacific. That's providing the moisture for this upcoming storm right now, where you see the enhanced clouds. They were producing snowfall over Idaho. Now they're moving into northern Utah and into northern Nevada, and some moisture pushing into southern areas of Nevada, Utah, and the Strip as well. Drier air across California. And there's a map this afternoon. Areas in this green is where we are expecting steady precipitation and fairly low snow levels, dropping down to near 4,000 feet in a lot of areas. So a lot of the metro areas, like in Salt Lake, going towards Elko and Provo and everywhere, should probably see some accumulating snow. The mountains could see 6 to 12 inches in some spots. See our 7-day, still dry or moderately dry in the south, where they've been bone dry the last 2 weeks. Otherwise, most areas dormant in the green. You see on the left the strong winds out of the west and northwest, 30 to 45 miles per hour. On the humidity, most humidity is probably too high to burn across our northern and central areas. It's only into the southern third of Nevada and Utah. You can see the humidity's below 40%, even below 30% in some spots, where you could light things. Looking at mixing heights, vertical mixing looking excellent as to be expected, several thousand feet above ground level, typical when you're in the midst of a storm. Storm system moves out on Tuesday. You see the moisture now over the middle plain states, but there's a next storm waiting in its wings across the Pacific Northwest. Winds diminish quite a bit, except in our eastern areas, where you could still have west-northwest winds gusting over 30. Humidity still similar to the previous day, highest in the north, below 30% in the southern third. Excellent mixing heights once again. And there's next storm system. This one hitting mostly into Idaho and maybe far northern Nevada. On Wednesday, you can see the corresponding 7-day humidities. Again, actually drying out quite a bit, below 30% from Reno on southwards. And so humidities could be conducive to letting some burns, but the winds will be up high here. We see the oranges coming out of the south ahead of the next storm system. Mixing heights good in most areas, maybe some longer lasting inversions where you see areas in the blue or purple. It's a lot of it due to recent snow cover. 3-day precipitation totals, you can see mostly in the northern 2/3 of the area, a bit further south across the higher terrain of Utah. And a lot of this will be in the form of snow, maybe 6 to 12 inches. Higher terrain of northern Utah and into the mountains of Idaho and western Wyoming as well. Storm system really deepens on Thursday. The next wave comes in for just about all areas. That's why we've colored everything in the green. And very quick changes. That storm system moves out. Brief 1-day drying. We can see more moisture off the Southern California coast and another low dropping into the Pacific Northwest combine to produce more clouds and precipitation over the weekend. Widespread, deep low pressure, lots of rain and mountain snow for a good chunk of the area through the weekend as well. So the 7 days green, things probably too moist to burn as we go towards later in the week and into the weekend. So it looks like a trend maybe towards some covered piles will be the only option at this point. Precipitation from Thursday evening through Saturday evening. You can see widespread light to locally moderate precipitation, and similar story again on from Saturday evening through Monday evening. So heavy stuff off the Sierra and as well as the higher terrain of Utah, and maybe light to moderate amounts elsewhere, but covering just about the entire geographic area. Our longer range outlook, 8 to 14 days. This is from December 5th through the 11th. Colder than normal, most areas, especially in the north. Wetter than normal, most areas as well. So it is that time of year. This concludes our briefing. Next one coming up this Wednesday. Have a great day.